When creating a WordPress blog or a WordPress site in general, you have at least two options, WordPress.com and WordPress.org. We're going to look at the two of them in this video. WordPress is WordPress, but when people talk about WordPress.com, they mean the hosted version that you can find at WordPress.com. This is called software as service when you have software running in a hosted way like this. The other version is referred to sometimes as WordPress.org, and that's the version that you install yourself, involving going to WordPress.org, downloading the code, and taking care of everything yourself. WordPress is WordPress, and most things about them are the same. There are a few differences that we're going to cover, but one important thing to note is that you can switch from one to the other. It's very easy to switch from WordPress.com to a self-installed version. It's a little tricky potentially to switch from a self-installed version to the hosted version. You just have to check your plugins and stuff. But it is possible and quite doable to switch from one to the other. So, some advantages of using WordPress.com. For one, it is a huge infrastructure. WordPress.com hosts thousands of blogs. They have a very vested interest in keeping everything running smoothly. So it's very fast, very nice. You don't have to update anything yourself. The most current version of WordPress, indeed, sometimes a more current version of WordPress than what you can get from WordPress.org, is what's always running on WordPress.com. So you get nice features, but even more importantly, you get the latest security updates for free. You don't have to do anything. Also, WordPress.com includes lots of themes, hundreds of them, and a whole bunch of plugins, not quite so many. But a lot of functionality is built right in. Along with these advantages, there are a few drawbacks. One is that if you want to customize the design of your site, you have to pay a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but you do have to pay. It doesn't come for free. And indeed, anything beyond the included themes or plugins that you might want to install is completely off limits. You can't do that at all with WordPress.com. So now we'll take a look at the self-hosted version, which is WordPress.org. One major advantage is that you can install anything. Any themes that you want from WordPress.org or any that you create yourself, you can use. Likewise for plugins. You have total control over the whole thing. If you want to install WordPress as part of a larger website, that's easy to do if you do it yourself. If you want to go crazy and customize the WordPress code itself, which I don't recommend, but if you wanted to do that, you could. Along with that power comes the responsibility of having to handle your own maintenance. So anytime a security update comes out for WordPress, you have to install it yourself. It's usually a very good idea to do that because every version of WordPress that comes out has a bunch of security fixes in it. So you have to do all that stuff yourself if you host it yourself. Also, WordPress.org comes with very few plugins. Indeed, I think it comes with exactly one. So any additional functionality, it's up to you to install and configure and do all that stuff. WordPress.com comes with a selection of plugins out of the box that the downloaded version of WordPress does not. Here's my recommendation. If it meets your needs, use WordPress.com. All the advantages related to maintenance and speed and everything are very nice, and it takes a lot of the hassle of running a website out of your hands. We will cover WordPress.org in this course so that you know how to do an installation and do everything that you need to make a custom site yourself. And of course, if you start with WordPress.com, you can always switch to WordPress.org pretty easily.